Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Pisces collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Pisces, gang? Here in mid-June 2026. We're still in Gemini season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces, gang. In mid-June, what's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for you, my friends. Have some fun today, hopefully. All right, eyes to the horizon. I usually think this card is pretty cool with this lady on the beach, and we're going to talk more in depth with it, but this is a bit more of a future-focused mindset. Right now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So yeah, we see this lovely lady with the blue dress. She's on the beach looking out into the distance down to the horizon, and we have these big objects in the sky with rainbows coming out of it. Now, to me, usually when I look at this, it's like I'm looking to the future. I have goals, things I want to accomplish. There's certain dates or certain things that I'm striving for. So I usually like a future focused mindset as long as we're not looking too far into it, right? Now, sometimes we're a little more focused on the past, just like last week's reading. And we'll talk about that in a moment or two, where like last week's Pisces reading, it's kind of like we're looking behind. Now here, we're looking ahead, which could be really great. I always think, especially with the rainbow, it does speak of positivity. So there could be something about setting some goals, whether they're short-term goals, long-term goals, that could be really, really good. Now, if we live too far in the future, that could become anxiety. So that's just something to watch out for. So if you look too far in the past, it becomes depression. If you look too far in the future, it becomes anxiety. So watch that balance in this time, right? Like maybe try to ground into the present for whatever reason. But we're just going to let her chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I would say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Pisces, gang. What's happening in mid-June, please? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. As I already mentioned with that past-facing energy, the reading was titled An Unfinished Situation. So for some Pisces, there could be a whole variety of different things, whether it's work-related, business-related, love-related, where there might be something on your plate that you feel like there's more to come, or there's something unfinished, or there's some unfinished business lingering in the ether. Which again doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but I find it interesting that we were looking behind last week, now we're looking ahead. So let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. So let's get it going. 3 cards for Pisces, gang. What do we have in mid-June? Let's see if our perspective is switching, our perspective is changing. Okay, I've got the King of Pentacles. I think that showed up at the end of the reading last week. Correct me if I'm wrong if you watched last week's reading. Pretty sure he was on the back end of it. I do like the King of Pentacles. If it's not a person, it's usually a pretty good indicator. Normally, 10 of Cups. Okay. And we're off to a pretty good start, Pisces. I'm going to try my best not to get too overly excited about these energies. But I think last week we had the 10 of Swords. Now we have the 10 of Cups. So it's like we're getting this whole yin-yang thing going on. Wow. All right, 6 of Wands. All right, this might be a really good one, my friends. And again, I'm going to try to stay neutral about all this because even the best cards do have some drawbacks sometimes. And, I like to take a more holistic view on the whole thing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. First look, first glance, though, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and tells us how things are going to flow. We have a good mixture. We have earth, water, fire. Cool. Now, these two blend together very, very well, and these are very comfortable for Pisces. That's what gets me extra happy about it. But when it comes to Earth, that's stability and security, whether it's internal or external. I think of results-driven type of action. When I see the Earth, I think of routine, day-to-day life, whether you're making changes to it or not. There's something very predictable about Earth energy. It could be money, work, business, finance. Maybe you're in Pentacle mode. It could be home and family. So the material aspects of life could be important with the king here. In the center, I mean, downside, because I have to give both sides. The downside to too much Earth is that it could feel stuck. It could feel like it's not progressing or moving. So we need to keep an eye on it. In the center, we have a bunch of water, which is Pisces power placement, right? That's your power card. It's your comfort zone. So I love having water in a Pisces reading. And again, when you mix water and earth, they represent blessings and abundance. Just like you water a garden or water a plant, it grows. So I love this combination. But water is internal, matters of the heart, matters of emotion. So it's big when it comes to partnerships, things, people, situations that we're emotionally invested in, things that we care about. It's great for artistic expressiveness, getting those emotions out through any form of art or creativity. So whether it's writing, sculpting, painting, hobbies, you name it, it's usually pretty good. The downside to water is that it's always ebbing and flowing, just like the tides, right? The tide comes in, the tide goes out, and such is life, right? But sometimes it could get a little overwhelming. But that's why these two cards play off each other so well. And then on the back end, we have the fire, the realm of action. So again, whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions you want to take, health, wellness, vitality, energy levels. Usually fire is very high energy, which I think is good. So maybe you're busy, busy, busy. But I like it. Like, to me, it usually feels good. The only downside to fire is that sometimes it could be a little unpredictable. It could be a little explosive. Sometimes it looks like it's going one way, then it goes another. So you see the little themes we're picking up. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with our good pal, the King of Pentacles. Now, for some of you, if you're connected to an Earth sign, so Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, this could be them. Remember, it's not gender specific. And the one thing I always say about the kings, if this isn't representing a person in your life, is they represent control of their respective suit. And we just spoke in depth about the suit. So the King of Pentacles keeps things in line, keeps things predictable. It's all about routine and ritual. This card is very entrepreneurial. When I see him, it represents blessings, abundance, and stability, which is really, really good. So for a lot of you, could this be a win? Potentially. All of these cards we can argue are win victory based types of energies, which is really nice. So I like this. And this is definitely cup runneth over type of energy. The only downside to the King of Pentacles is sometimes it could be very, very stubborn. So whether you're dealing with a very stubborn, set in their ways type of person, whether you're dealing with a very stubborn, set in its ways type of situation where it's like, oh, is this ever going to change? That's where this card could get a little sticky. But we're going to see what's up with them. Again, I'm going to call it a positive until something else shows us otherwise. Now, as we get him tucked back in here by the amethyst, we're going to move to our next card over, which is the Ten of Cups. Again, one of the heavy hitters within the tarot deck, one of the best, right? See the happy family, the home. It's a beautiful day. They got the rainbow through the sky, 10 cups in the upright. This is everything, right? It's wish fulfillment. It's like the best day possible. So, again, wins, victories, blessings. It's just really, really nice. This is an energy of contentment and happiness. So, we'll take that. Now, other things this card could mean could be home situations, family situations, absolutely. But normally, this is one of the best cards in the whole deck. Regardless of what you're dealing with and going through, like, this is a good sign when it shows up in a reading, even a general. Now, the downside to the Ten of Cups is that it is emotionally intense, right? We got 10 full cups right here. So when this card does flip in reverse, these could represent some big feelings. So for some Pisces in this time, you might be navigating some really big feelings or navigating those waters. It's very possible. But I think this king energy does seem to like keep everything in line, if that makes sense. We'll see how it plays out. Moving to the back end, we have the Six of Wands, and we see this person, they're in a parade. They have their laurels, they're being celebrated. So I love this. To me, this is a card of complete and total victory and being celebrated for the things that you do, the things that you contribute. This is great for getting kudos. This is big when it comes to attention, too. Not saying you're looking for it, because usually Pisces is a very low key energy. But when I see the Six of Wands, it's like there might be more eyes on you than there usually are. Maybe someone's taking a little look at you, trying to gander at you. That's very possible with the Six of Wands because it's a magnetic attention getter. So this is great for the limelight. This is great for business and stuff like that too, because it's an energy that shines under the gaze of others. So that's really good. The only downside to the Six of Wands, in my opinion, is that yes, it's a card of confidence, but there is a big difference, or there's actually a thin line between confident and egotistical, right? And this card could sometimes really walk that fine line where it's like, all right, is it cocky or confident? Which one is it? So watch out for any individuals that have like a too big of an ego in this time. But overall, these all lean positive. So I want to dive deeper on all the Pisces. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Pisces, gang? What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the King of Pentacles, see what he has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, King of Pentacles, what are you doing here, pal? Why are you here? Okay. Is this good? Is this good or frustrating? That's the question, because usually Pisces, I feel like if this was like an Aries reading, which I have Aries and Pisces placements, I feel like that if this was an Aries reading, this would really bother me. But it's not an Aries reading, it's a Pisces one. So for a lot of Pisces, this could be a very unbothered type of energy. Now, the King of Pentacles with the Five of Wands in reverse could be an energy that's laying low and trying to let something settle down for a while. So I'm not sure if that's advice for some Pisces. I'm not sure if that's how someone's acting. King of Pentacles, Five of Wands in reverse, it's just very, very non-reactive. So again, as advice, it could just be Spirit saying, all right, Pisces, don't do anything rash. Don't do anything too wild. Just like don't react to it. Don't feed it attention. Don't feed it this. Don't feed it that. Because, yeah, this energy seems like it's very much unbothered. And the reason I said if this was an Aries reading, it would bother me is because, like, usually, speaking as someone with Aries and Pisces placements, if someone's not as excited about something as I am, it's like, why are you not excited about it? Or if someone's not reacting to something the same way I am, it's like, okay, well, why are you, what's going on? Like, why do you not care? Like, I don't know, it's super unique. So just watch out for that. Like, there might be certain individuals around you that might not be reacting to things you think in the way you think they should be. Like, that's a weird reaction. Or why aren't you responding to this? Why are you so unbothered by this? Like, okay, we're going to keep going. I mean, unless some of you are just being extremely unbothered. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's being mean. It just seems very unbothered. We're going to keep going. Nothing wrong with that, right? I was just getting a lot of stuff, right? So let's see what the Ten of Cups has. I mean, there's still great energy here. So why is the Ten of Cups here? Cool. Yep. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we have the Strength card in the upright being proven right, or something paying off in your benefit, which is really, really good. Okay. So there could be a situation or something you may be grappling with or dealing with where if you just allow it to flow and handle it the right way, it's going to work itself out, which I think is pretty good. Like sometimes, there's situations where we have to take action and we have to do this and we have to say this and force this. With the Ten of Cups and the Strength card, it's like, no, this goes my way and I didn't even have to try. It goes my way and it just happened how it needed to happen. It just seems to flow. Now, Strength can sometimes be resisting things. There is still this very unreactive type of energy here. Okay. And for some of you, that's a great thing. For some of you, it really feels like there could be someone that's really frustrating with their lack of caring about something or their non-reactive approach, where it's like, why do you not care about this? That's so odd that I'm getting this. It's like, why do you not care about this? You're going to have to let me know if that's hitting for you, because that's super unique. I don't think I've ever gotten that in the general spread. I've seen it in personals. But Strength is Leo, right? Very similar to the Six of Wands. It's angelic, it's karmic, it can represent restraint, but the real thing this represents to me is who someone is at their core, their character, who someone is at their soul level internally, when the lights aren't on, when the attention isn't on you. Who are you behind closed doors? And when I see that with the Ten of Cups, aside from that very specific message I was getting about someone being really unbothered by something, it is a absolute win, victory, or blessing that just seems to magnetically come to you. So we'll take it, we'll claim it. It's a beautiful thing. But I'm not seeing a ton of action here. I'm just seeing energy just flowing, even if it looks stagnant. That's the thing. Even if it seems like nothing's happening, nothing's going on, nothing's changing, I really think things could be changing behind the scenes. We're going to keep moving. We're going to see what's up with the Six of Wands. We're getting way too hyper specific here for a general reading. Let's see why the Six of Wands is here. Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow. I don't know what this non-reactive energy is. And then the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Very sudden, very fast. I mean, it's just even better than the first one, right? Like this is even better than this, and better than that. The Wheel of Fortune is the lucky charm, right? That's the four-leaf clover of the tarot deck. You don't get much better than that, right? It's very fast, very sudden, very fiery. It's explosive. And when I see it underneath the Six of Wands, the victory, yeah, it's like just luck being on my side, a breakthrough, a sudden or explosive win or victory. So again, yeah, there's a little frustration in the front end of the reading with things not seeming to go or seeming to go your way or things not seeming to be changing. But when the wheel comes in and changes the game, boom, it just like all at once, all at once. And this is like worth the wait. It's worth the stagnant energy, so to speak. Now the wheel, the only downside to the wheel, and I just have to say it just to say it, is that sometimes it can be risky. Sometimes it is an energy that will like, go on urges, go on impulse, and it can be very risky. But when I see it under a card like the Six of Wands, it's bold, it's confident, it's fiery, it's explosive. So like it doesn't stop here at the good. If anything, this unbothered energy may serve you in the long run. Where it's like very unbothered, not really doing much, allowing things to flow, and then boom, everything just comes in all at once. So again, we got win after win here on the back end, but this unbothered energy is the only thing that's like sticking in my craw, so to speak. So we're just going to put the wheel down. I feel like most of this reading, the vast majority of it is very much claimable. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we start off with the King of Pentacles, Five of Wands, energy that doesn't seem to like really care much or doesn't seem to be really reacting. Now again, for some of you that could be advice from spirit about trying to keep neutral and be non-reactive to something. It's very possible. But if there is somebody that seems as if they're not giving a damn about something or not caring about something, that may bother you, or someone's lack of reaction. Moving to the center, we have the Ten of Cups with the Strength card. Beautiful. Just allow something to flow, allow something to magnetically do what it's going to do, and you do get the best result here. So we got our first win. But then it picks up even more. It's like once we find this place of peace, boom, Six of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Very sudden, fast, explosive winner victory energy here, and we'll claim that all day. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card. Let's get this shadow card. Thank you. Cool. We have the World. That's very similar to the Wheel, in my opinion. They're both cyclical. They're both karmic, except the World moves at a bit of a different pace, right? Now, the World can represent a culmination, something that's about to reach a fever pitch or come to a head, so to speak. It's not like a Ten of Swords painful ending. To me, it's like, all right, we're moving from one chapter to the next. We're closing one page and we're opening the next. It's evolution, right? It's metamorphosis. So I generally think the World is actually a very positive card. I mean, if we get very specific for some Pisces, things going on in the world today, world events, current events could be really bothering some of you when this card shows up. So again, we're not going to dive too deep into that because that's a whole separate different topic, not for this channel. But the World to me in its challenge could absolutely represent that feeling of stagnancy we're speaking about, where it's like nothing is changing. Nothing is moving how it's supposed to be moving. So really watch out for frustration. That's what I'd say with this as a shadow card. So we're going to put this down right here, my good friends. That's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, the winners, which will be 3, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.